Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. We have with us Mr. David Roberts, educational extraordinaire. Mr. Robert Whittaker, solid guy. Solid.
I've gone down. I've gone down again.
Solid, nice guy. No, I wouldn't trust him around your wife or cousin or anything.
You can't put that on a podcast.
But a good guy. But a good guy nonetheless.
You can't put that on a podcast my wife listens to.
Your wife doesn't listen to it.
She does.
She doesn't.
She does in the car. She listens to it.
And a very, very important guest today, Mr. Alex Simon, Australia's strongest man, I believe.
Former.
Okay, and were you top 10 in the world?
I was at the time, yeah. Top 10 ever.
Fucking hell. Top 10 ever. All right, do you want to... How did you get started in that?
In the powerlifting?
Yeah.
I was actually a footy player, and I did my knee. Did my ligament in my knee. So I was out for a while, and then the physio told me the best rehab you can do for your knee is build big quads and big hamstrings. That's what I did.
I've also hurt my knee many times, but I also got told that. But there was no... I never became the fucking strongest man.
Really? Yeah. You couldn't become this?
Apparently not. They put me on the same thing. They said the quads and the hamstrings, all that. The whole, they told me the whole thing.
So I did. That's
but we did. Must have been different programs.
Different program, yeah.
Different
Probably only slightly. But yeah.
I've got to ask you, like, when you were playing footy, were you as big or did you get bigger?
I was always big boy. I was a bit sloppier, like a bit fatter, and could only last about 15, 20 minutes before I came off.
Good 15, 20 minutes.
Good 15, yeah. Big.
Were you that big kid that people like you watch on YouTube and then there's 10 kids hanging off you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was that fat kid.
I was one of the 10.
That was me.
I was one of the 10. I was one of the 10 kids hanging on. No, I always pretended that he stepped me. And you dive the other way.
You wait till he runs past you and then go for an ankle tap.
Yeah. Fuck it all. So how big were you in year 8?
Year 8? What's that? 13?
Yeah, 13, 14.
Probably 120.
You're 120 kilos in year 8.
Yeah, about 120.
Wow, you were a big kid.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah.
No joke.
And did you played Harold Matthews there?
Yeah, I played Harold Matthews for Bears. Then I got injured. I did my ankle real bad. Broke my ankle 3 spots. So then I had to take some time off. And then I just started playing club level again for a couple of years.
And you stopped playing footy after that?
And then I did my knee. And then I was going to go back to it because I was trying to still make first grade. But then that's when I actually started doing strength training for my rehab. And I just fell in love with that and I just ran with that.
How old are you? 26?
26.
I apologise. We just ate chicken with garlic, so if I'm on garlic
yum,
breath, it's killing you. Sorry.
No, I can't even smell it.
When you played for Harold Matthews with the Bulldogs, what year?
No, North.
Oh, North.
Yeah,
okay, I thought you played Bulldogs. I don't know why. I fucking racially profiled you.
I live in Bankstown.
That's right. Yeah. I just fucking assumed he was playing for Bankstown.
St. George.
Because you live there.
I live in Bankstown, yeah.
There you go. Well, never judge a book by its cover, people. Yeah. So how did things start for you? You were take us through as a kid. What sports did you play when you were young?
Just league the whole way.
Always league.
Under 6s through to when I was 20 when I did my knee.
And how did you go into combat and that? Did you do any combat stuff before?
Yeah, I think it was 13s. We went down just to the local PCYC just to do some fitness in the off season, just a few of the boys, like a bit of boxing stuff, nothing serious, just have a hit and a laugh. Then I kind of enjoyed it, so I'd occasionally go with a few of my mates when I was about 15, and just did a little bit, nothing serious, nothing hard, just bit of bag work, bit of pads, just for a laugh. But I enjoyed it. I started going a bit more frequently when I was about 15. Just started with a bit of boxing.
Were you watching it beforehand? Were you interested in combat before that?
13, I started watching boxing, and then I'm trying to think which fight it was. It was UFC 79. It was Chuck Liddell versus Vanderlei Silva. I saw the previews for that.
That was a crazy fight.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, and I got hooked from that. I forgot what year it was, but since that one, I've been hooked.
That's a great gateway.
I've watched everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Did you? And when did you go? Okay, I want to do this. What's powerlifting like? What's the world of powerlifting like?
It's extreme. It's a very small niche. you know, zero money in the sport. Zero. So I was the strongest dude in the country, top 10 ever, and I made not a cent doing it.
Did you compete in the world's strongest man stuff, and how did you go on that?
So it's not world's strongest man. That's strongman. It's a different sport. We do powerlifting, which is a
squat deadlift,
one rep maximum weight, squat, bench press, and a deadlift, and then you add up your numbers and you get your total, and that's your total.
But you never did like strongman stuff.
I never competed in strongman. Nah, just straight powerlifting.
Was that something that you? How come you never?
That's what I was going to do if I pursued it, but then I got the Australian record and I got top 10 ever powerlifting, and it was 2 years ago. I was 24, I was married at the time, my wife was having a baby, and I was about 181 kilos at my heaviest.
Fuck, 180.
And every night going to bed, I was just getting anxiety when it would get dark because I could not sleep. I was that physically big and heavy, couldn't breathe. Had to sleep up on the couch like that. Yeah, it was a nightmare for about 3 months.
You couldn't lay on your back.
Every time I lay back, just couldn't breathe. That big head, traps, neck, just that big. It was a nightmare.
What were you eating?
Everything.
Dude, tell me what your breakfast would have been at 100.
12 eggs every morning.
Just the 12 eggs?
12 eggs. What do I have? 12 eggs, 4 to 6 pieces of toast. Then I'd go to the gym. So I used to work as a trainer in the gym I trained at. So I'd be there all day. I was in North Sydney. And then in between clients, there's a cafe. Just used to go smash burgers, chips. After lunch, just get a big fat block of chocolate. What else? Just big protein shakes, fill it up with carbs, oats, just anything fat. Go home, whatever Mrs. makes, and get a pizza as well. Just, yeah, anything. Just.
How many calories would you say?
Never kept track. It would have been easily, I reckon, over 12,000 a day. Bless you.
Thank you. What health did anyone speak to you about health problems moving in the future, like with your digestive system, your cardiovascular system?
Before this comp, Big Dogs, that's when I got the Australian title. In the 3 months prior to that, that's when I put on the most amount of weight. To go to hospital twice.
For what?
Like literally just anxiety at night, just freaking out.
I've had anxiety bad, and it's fucking shit.
Yeah, I've never had it before that. It was just literally I couldn't breathe at night, and I was convinced like if my eyes close, I'm not breathing, I'm not waking up. So I just had to relax.
That's a real worry.
It's
not like illusionary or make believe. That could happen.
And then you like try and go down on the pillow slowly, and then you'd be like, "Am I breathing?" And then, no, get up. Yeah, it was bad.
But you actually weren't breathing.
No, I couldn't. If I lay down, I couldn't get in. There was too much blocking, too much size blocking.
That's massive.
Yeah.
So you'd have to sleep upright on the couch.
On the couch, the back of the couch is here, head back there, just so I can kind of get in. And then obviously it's not comfortable.
That would have been fantastic sleep.
Nah.
Nice deep sleep.
sounds like a mad way to live.
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun. But we've got that record.
You did.
Fuck it. So tell us what the record was.
So the total was 1,077.5 kilos, and that was made up of the 3 lifts on stage.
And it was at the 425 kilo squat?
I got 435 that day on comp, 260 bench press, and that day I only deadlifted 382.5. That was to make up the total. So I pulled my hamstring. That was my first attempt. I got that. You get 3 attempts on stage, and I called it there because I knew my hamstring was about to go. So I didn't.
When was this on your deadlift?
Yeah.
He only did 380.
I pulled it on the...
That's kilos, by the way. Hey, you're talking kilos.
Yeah, not pounds, kilos.
Kilos.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Nah, because I pulled my hamstring on the squat, and it was real uncomfortable. I had my physio there just working on me the whole day. Even then in the warm-up to warm up backstage on the deadlifts, like a few hours later. And every time I...
Tell me how you warm up to lift a small car, please. I might be able to use this somehow.
Pretty easy. Just exact same motion.
So you just
lightweight,
do
same motion.
Like airlift sort of things.
Yeah, so for example, I've deadlifted 400 kilos bare hands. My warm-up is usually about an hour before I hit that one. That's for 1 rep. I usually warm up for about an hour.
What do you do?
First thing, nice and slowly, touch your toes 10 times. Move, shake your legs around, touch your toes again. Move, shake your legs around, touch your toes again. Then you're starting to loosen up everything. Then empty barbell. 5 reps, put it down. 5 minutes, 5 reps, put it down. Then 1 plate, same thing. 5 reps, put it down. Then 1 plate, 1 rep.
That's my workout.
And then you just go 1 plate, 1 rep, bang it. 1 plate, 1 rep, bang it. Just all the way up to your max weight. That takes about an hour because we're resting about 5 minutes in between.
That's my workout.
It's like his warm up is my entire session, and I'm out.
Lying down after the warm up.
You used to do strength training, yeah?
Hey, I still do with Justin Lane.
Okay.
I still not like powerlifting, but strength and conditioning for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And literally, like your warm up is my entire session. Like I go in there and I hit as many exercises as we can during the period. And obviously there's a system to it. But like after about an hour, a little bit over, I'm done. I'm cooked. Like we're out. I'm in the cafe having a coffee and a sandwich.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, what are you doing?
And you're hitting your 1 RM then. Like wow.
How scary is it to get under the bar with a weight that's like? Because you know, when you pull up on YouTube and that, you see the powerlifting injuries and shit.
Yeah.
How scary is that?
Not really. Not very. You can't think of that, you know. Or else if you're going like if you're going down yourself, when you're talking about massive weight, you got to commit to it. Like you flick. The
but that's what I'm saying. You're like it is scary because you go to a point in your head where you're like, I'm fucking lifting this.
Yeah, same thing I do before a fight. You just commit yourself to that zone that you're going to smash it, and you're not thinking about what else can happen.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about this guy's going to knock me out, or he says, no, I'm going to run through him. Same thing with the weights. When if you don't attack the weight, you can get hurt really bad. So you just commit. I'm protecting myself. I'm going to give it everything I got. And then, hopefully we rack the weight and we're all good. Nothing's broken.
How long do your training sessions go for? Like used to go for when you were powerlifting?
Probably 3 hours.
So you do 1 3-hour block of like max?
Yeah, about 3 hours. But there's a lot of sitting down in between. Like what we were powerlifting at the high end level when you're dealing with big weights, very lazy sport. So in our rest periods were like up to 10, 12 minutes in between like 1 rep. You know what I mean? So it takes a long time, but there's actually not that much work done. But to build up to that weight takes a long time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And you have to be consistent for how long? Like years.
Yeah, years. Well, I did it for did my shoulder, so I had about 6 months off. So I was lifting for about 2.5 years, like that, every day, hard out.
But you, from what I understand, what's the gentleman's name? Sebastian
Orb, Australian strength coach on Instagram.
Yeah, from what I understand when he was speaking about it, like first day in the gym, you were lifting like some crazy weights. Yeah.
Have you always been strong? Like, like when you were a kid, were you like you can be big and strong, but were you like, no, I'm really strong?
No, I was strong. Yeah, I always knew it. Yeah. Like even when I grabbed the ball in footy, when I palmed someone, like they'd go flying. Even because you're like other big boys? Yeah, big boys, yeah. Bump them off, they'd go flying. And then my first day when I trained weights, I was 17. It was off-season footy. I benched like 180 for like 4 reps. 180 kilos which for 4 reps? I know, it's very good. I was like 17, first time in a gym. And I was there with a mate, like an older... Yeah. That's a kilos, by the way, for anyone listening in the US. That doesn't make sense. Because 180 pounds is what I bench. No, that's 180 pounds. I can't do 4 reps, but that is mind-boggling. Like, yeah, I've just always had that natural strength, just mass, size, and strength. I don't think it's natural. Like, that's not normal. Like, the rest of us don't have that normal strength. Just one of those one-off freaks. You have extraordinary strength. Yeah, I was very strong. Yeah. Would you have liked to have done the strongman? Would that? Yeah, I'd love it. I love it because that looks fucking mad. Like, it's awesome. Yeah, that's the transition. If I didn't want to follow in Rob's footsteps and try and make the UFC and hopefully one day be a champion, that's 100% what I would have done. I wanted to be world's strongest man, but I think what Rob's got, UFC champion, is just, I think that's better. So that's what I wanted to do. Do you find the similarities in mind space and head space of like when you're about to fight to opposed to like when you're about to hit that max lift the same? Like similar? obviously I haven't been on a big stage yet, like
The
yourself.
stage is the same though. Like personally,
Backstage, you mean?
no, even when you get on there, fighting's fighting. To me,
Yeah.
anyway. Like when I was fighting CFC way back when to jumping in for the title, like both are the same.
Did you feel octagon jitters? Did you feel that shit?
Yeah.
But
In there or
No. Did you feel it? Like, because saying it's the same, but did you feel it? So you didn't feel a difference between a small show and a big show?
No, not at all.
You didn't,
No,
because I know a lot of people do.
No, I don't notice the difference. The only difference that I noticed was when when the announcer starts announcing you when you're standing there, and it takes longer and longer, and all that stuff. That takes ages, and that's annoying. And
Do you
then
feel a
the
difference
introductions?
in your lift when you lift, like, or do you just go, okay, that's a weight I'm lifting? Doesn't matter if there's 10 people or 10,000.
You mean before? When
When you're lifting,
no, I rise.
yeah,
When
but
you're on
it
stage,
does it
when
matter
there's
to you? Does it matter to you if there's 10 people watching or 10,000?
I enjoy the bigger, the more pressure. It means like it just helps you pump up more. I'm like, yep, this is it. Let's go. So it's when you're under the lights, for example, like on stage, everyone's watching. You just rise more. I just feel more strength.
In lifting, because I can assume the answer, but in lifting, like you'd imagine it's quite a quantitative sport. It's like, this is what you got to lift. This is how much it weighs. Lift it, yes or no.
Yep.
Do you find that sometimes you're training with someone and he's training right next to you, and he can outlift you in the gym or come close, and then when you get to the stage, you're like, you this guy, what happened? He can't lift. Do people shit themselves like that?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's called in lifting. It's called you bombed on stage. Like, you can be the best gym lifter, but then if you can't put it where it matters on the platform, it doesn't count. Yeah, heaps of people bomb. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow, really?
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of fighters that are like that. Dudes that can't turn it on in the big stage.
Yeah, I know that, but I never thought that it transcends to like lifting even and other things like that.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, everyone in the gym when there's no pressure can do X whatever, and then as soon as there's people there, everyone's watching, cameras are out, they just buckle. They don't show up, and they miss weights they should have got.
Yeah,
Happens all the time.
wow.
Do you feel that pressure when you fight?
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure when you fight?
Yeah, I don't want to lose. I've had 5 fights now, like amateur and pro, and yeah, you get nervous. I just don't want to lose in front of my friends and family. That's the main thing. My main thing, it's not if you lose a fight, it's not just like the actual punch one. It's just you just don't want to let your friends, family, your team down.
Were you a kid that got into a lot of fights growing up?
Not that many.
If
really.
you're 120 kilos,
Yeah,
when you're 13, I don't think a lot of people pick fights.
No,
But that's why I ask, like, because I think like I wasn't a big kid, so I could, and I didn't have a lot of fights. But I'm thinking, if you're your size, like, did you have fights growing up, and who the fuck fought you?
not that many. No,
But you still had fights
couple.
with another big kid, or with like the tiniest kid in the year.
Oh, there was this kid at school once. I'll tell you a funny story.
Tell us.
It was year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah,
So you would have been what, 93?
A slim 90.
Yeah.
A slim 90 kilos.
I was light heavy, yeah. Yeah, it was year 2, and this kid, he was bullied because I was fat, right? And he came, I was talking to my friends, and we're next to a brick wall here. And he came up to me, he came up here with his mates, and he's been bullying me for a few weeks. And I'm just,
Was he a big kid too?
not really, nah. This was my first ever altercation. And he came up, and I forgot the exact words. It was something just like fatty in front of my mates. And just one day, I was just dealing with it for weeks. As soon as he came up, I started getting angry. And it's just like I just flicked the switch. As soon as he started saying it, I just grabbed his head, and I just went bang into the brick wall. And his front tooth came out.
Fuck.
And I remember I saw him when I was like 18, and I was already big, and everyone knew me locally. I saw him out one night, and he goes like, "You remember me?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are we cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, all good." That was the first little altercation.
What's he doing now? He's like a lollipop man or something. Like he's severe brain damage.
Yeah.
How big was he as an adult, that guy? Just curious.
Nah, normal size.
Just like my size?
Yeah, I feel like slack now, but year 2, you don't really think of that.
It's funny he had to say, "Are we cool?" It was like, what happens
No,
in
we're
year
not.
2?
I would have just fucking
It's
walked.
like, no, what happens in you 2 stays with me forever.
Yeah.
So
But it's funny, because you remember that shit.
Yeah, because that was my first ever altercation. And
I
I
don't-
didn't want to do anything, so I don't enjoy, hurting people on the street.
I don't remember year 2 at all.
You don't?
No.
I remember year 2.
Not at all.
I remember year 2. I played, this is a true story. He won't be watching this, but it doesn't matter. Michael Clark, I played marbles with him, right, for a Steely.
The cricketer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I won. He was like, I was in year 2, he was in year 1, and he had a Steely, and I fucking didn't have Steelies, I barely had marbles. And I beat him, and he took my Steely.
What's a Steely?
It's like a fucking ball bearing. Like a ball bearing.
What'd you play with?
I had a Queenie, and he had a fucking ball bearing Steely, and I wanted it, and we played. I had to hit him 3 times, and I hit him through. He hit the Steely 3 times, and he took it, and he didn't give it to me.
That's it.
I'm fucking, So if you do the right thing, man, give me my Steely.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was very lucky in primary school.
Well, sorry, there was no physical altercation. I was very much a pacifist.
I was expecting you bashed Michael Clark's hand.
No, he just he just took my fucking Steely.
Okay.
He probably doesn't remember. He knows.
Call him out. You owe Fab a Steely.
I would like my Steely, please, Michael Clark.
It's time to pay up. It's time to pay up, mate.
Could you get the Steely back for me, please?
Yeah, done. Wouldn't be the first time.
We're coming. We're coming for the Steely. No, but I was lucky in primary school because we played marbles as well. But my dad used to work at Exide, like the battery making place.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to melted lead all the time. So he'd come home and give me a bag of like Steelies, and like there were some ball bearings that were the size of like this, and then there were some small ones, and I'd have heaps, and people used to break their marbles on my marbles.
You never played for Steelings?
No, never heard of it until now.
Did you ever play marbles?
No. I saw it played, but I never gave it a go.
Yeah, well, fuck, we had... You remember Steelies?
Marbles...
I'm sure you started saying it, if it can all come back.
Marbles were on the way out when I was playing it, though. Like, it was Tarzos after that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was finished school. So you can't remember year 2?
No, not at all. I can remember a little bit of like preschool, and then I think the earliest one after that is like maybe year 3. I tried stealing Jamie's hobgoblin toy. Shout out to Jamie. Tried to steal his hobgoblin. The first time I ever tried stealing, and the guilt crushed me, and I ended up confessing. I said I stole your hobgoblin. He didn't even know because I had taken it and put it in my bag, and within the same 5 minutes I confessed.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. And that's when I realized stealing's not for me.
So did you have any other altercations with normal people growing up? Like fist fight?
Oh, not many. Couple playing footy. There was one-on-one. Most of the footy fights, you just grab the jersey and I'm going to do it, but you're not. And there was one on footy.
With another big guy or a tiny winger?
I think it was like a lock or something. Yeah, bit bigger. Yeah. But yeah.
I remember this one time in football when this guy, I got into a fight. I got tackled, and as I was standing up, the guy started feeding me, going crazy. But I had a headgear on, and he was hitting the headgear, and I didn't know what was going on until I stood up and everyone's grabbing him and walking away. I was like, what's going on?
Didn't even know?
I didn't even know. I had a headgear and shoulder pads. I was big padded up.
No effect.
So that was a fight I missed.
No, you know why I asked that? I asked this because I was looking at it the other day. I believe it or not, although if you look at my build, you think I like interior decorating stuff and that. But I like watching the strongman and all that type of stuff. And there's a guy from Australia. He's an Islander. I can't believe I forgot his name. Do you know? You must know his name. He's an Islander dude, but he lives here in Australia. I think he was living up in the mines, and he went to prison. Rongo.
Shout out to Ron.
Yeah, right. I was watching a doco about him.
Yeah.
So you know him?
Yeah, very well. Good friend of mine.
He hit someone or something in a street altercation.
He was in a bar, and this guy, I forgot, it was either the guy was known, he hit a woman, or he, in the past, or he hit a woman recently, and then Ron.
He intervened, Dave.
He was standing up for a woman.
Yeah.
And then he cracked him once.
And he busted him, eh?
Yeah, he's a big man.
How big is he?
He's a big boy.
Like as big as you?
A little bit shorter. He's bigger than me now.
What would he weigh?
Dude. He's about 160 or just under.
And like from what I understand, he like so he wasn't just running around assaulting people.
No. He's a gentleman.
He intervened.
No, he was defending a lady.
Yeah. That's what I understood. From what I gathered watching it, I think it happened then, and he stepped in.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened, and he stepped in, and the guy, like as he was telling the story, the guy like apparently the guy hit him or something, and I thought, why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that?
Bad move.
Yeah, and so he hit him, and how bad did he hurt the guy? Do you know?
Pretty sure he broke his jaw.
Yeah, he did
One
break
shot.
his jaw.
Yeah.
And I just the reason I ask that is like, when you were like around normal people, like you must like I'm obviously in his situation he just reacted and I think, but when you're around normal people, are you cognizant of like your size and your strength?
Yeah. 100%. I since I've put on size when I was started training when I was like 20, 21, and I started getting big. I've tried to any little, incident out, I'll just walk away straight away. I'll try and avoid it at all costs. Because
for you it'd be the same thing, but in a different way. Like obviously not as big as him, but like you being known to be able to fight. Like is that a thing that for you as well? You're cognizant of the fact like you can't carry it on with someone as an adult.
Oh yeah, I just can't hit anybody. Just don't hit anyone.
But is that something you like? Because I don't know if Dave has it. Like I don't have that. Like where, like you know what I mean. Like if I walk away because I just don't like. It's never been in my thing. But I've never been around and thought, like I could kill you. Like I don't have that thing in me. I don't think. But for someone like yourself or you, when you have a situation where someone's a dickhead out, your thing is in your head, like. I have to walk away.
Yeah, I got to be careful because if I get heated, this won't end well for him or me.
Yeah.
So I'll just get out of there straight away.
Have you, as an adult, had a situation where people have
heaps over the last few years? Heaps all the time.
Why?
Every time I go out, someone tries to
because you
pick a fight or something.
I imagine it's because you're a big dude who did powerlifting.
Yeah.
Who's gone to MMA and everyone wants a crack.
Yeah, everyone's like, look at this.
Do you want a crack, Dave?
not normal people, but other people.
That's what I thought when I
Who
saw
does this guy think he is?
Yeah,
going to MMA
all the time.
I'll show him I can.
Do you have that? Does people? Or
funny enough, like I'm good. Like I don't go out much, but when I do, like I never get in the scuffles. Like
no, I know you don't get in the fights,
no one even comes up to me. Or
have you had that happen in the last, say, 5 or 6 years?
There was this one time, like this older guy who was like in his 50s. He was so drunk and he got so angry at me for no reason. He was going to start a fight. like he was like an old dude, and he was like, "You come here you look at me when I'm talking to you." I was like, wow, you need to calm down. Shout out to Tom, that's his name, Tom. I was like, man, I'm just leaving. Have a good night. He goes, fucking walk away. And I just left, and I gave him his space.
Fair enough.
I dodged a bullet.
So what was the transition to MMA? Like, how did that happen?
It was October 17. That's when I did that competition and got my record. And then I knew straight away, that was my goal when I started weights. I wanted to be Australia's strongest man. So I did that. I could have pursued it and tried to, be world's strongest. But I thought the time it would have taken would have been too much for me to then change and try and pursue MMA. Because that's my passion. That's what I really wanted to do. Powerlifting, I loved it, but it was a hobby. I never wanted to always just say, I'm a powerlifter. I always wanted to say, I'm a fighter. And hopefully one day do well. So, started training, trying to drop the weight since then, October 17.
So do you said that when you were 181 kilos, that's what you ate.
Yeah.
Now, like, what's a normal day of eating for you? Do you feel like weaker? Do you feel better? How do you feel?
Oh, I feel heaps better. Yeah, heaps better. I can sleep. I can chase after my young son. I can do normal day-to-day things fine.
Because you look healthier than in some of the big photos that I've seen.
I was morbidly obese and very unhealthy there.
Like some of the massive,
very strong, mate.
Very strong,
very strong.
But in all seriousness, like your life expectancy wouldn't have been.
Nah, for when you're talking about that big, like those guys that big, they don't usually make it that long.
Do you know people that were massive powerlifters that passed away, like cardiac arrest or whatever, or anything like that? Like,
not personally, actually.
But with degrees
stories
of separation, you
you hear stories, you know, like not personally,
but, there wouldn't be a lot of like older powerlifters,
nah,
like big massive dudes, they wouldn't.
It does take.
You die early.
Yeah. Just carrying that weight and then lifting those loads, putting your body under that stress. It's not really a long term.
How hard is it on your body? Like walking around, your joints, everything,
Yeah, it hurt.
Just walking around hurt.
Yeah, just getting up. When you're that size, you can't function as a human.
Are there a lot of injuries?
I was actually not too bad. I tore my labrum, front and back one, benching off the bone, so I had to have shoulder surgery about 3 years ago. But that was the only serious one I had from lifting. A few other, you know, like you pull your back out and you just can't walk for a few days, but it's nothing serious. I got a bulging disc in my lower back, but that was already kind of on the way out when I did that. But yeah, I had a pretty good run considering the amount of weight I did in the amount of time.
But you trained for only a very short period of time, man.
2.5 years.
Fuck.
From start to, you know, top 10 in the world.
Like a blue belt.
Yeah.
You do fucking...
Yeah.
And he broke all records.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I'd get out while I'm still in one piece, you know, before you're I'm like late 20s. And
no hernias, nothing?
Broken. No hernias. No.
Fucking hell, that's incredible.
Technique does matter, though. I'll say that up point. Technique does matter. And not a lot of people do the correct technique. If you still, you know, make technique one of your main focus points, it saves a lot of that.
How did you end up with that? Like, did you have a coach that was with you through the whole thing?
Sebastian, from day one to day when I
How did that connection occur?
So I met Bass when I was about 18.
How?
I went to a friend of mine took me to the gym. He was actually working for Bass under him. It's one of his trainers, and a friend of mine that I knew through footy. I said, like, why don't you come, you know, learn a bit from these guys? Because I was always the strongest guy in the footy team, but I didn't really know the right way to train. Just go and do a bit of bench, bit of shoulders, whatever. And then he said, come meet this guy that I'm working for. He's doing heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, and he's lifting massive weights. And like, he was smaller than us, but he goes, he's way stronger than us. He goes, it's crazy new thing. It's going to go massive. I said, yeah, sweet. So I went, met Bass, did a little bit, I think like 2 or 3 sessions with him, and then went back to footy because I had to drop the weight. I was getting too heavy. So, and then it was hard to trek it to North Sydney for a while. So then as soon as I got my injury and I had time to train, I asked him, excuse me, can you train me? He said, I'm opening up a gym in a couple of weeks, come down. And from then, it was...
he trained the world's strongest man too, eh?
He does, yeah, he still does.
Oh, still does?
World's strongest man's in like 2 weeks. So Bass is actually leaving this weekend to go.
And that's strongman, not just powerlifting.
That's strongman, yeah. But he's the strongest dude in the world, bar none. Yeah.
What's his name?
Hafthor Bjornsson, the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Okay, so he is still actively the strongest man.
Yeah, he won last year and he's defending his title in like 2 weeks.
And he does powerlifting and strongman?
He has, yes.
And I've seen him arm wrestle. You know, the arm wrestling champions and that? And
yeah,
and they beat him as well.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
No, but it's a fucking freak thing because the guy's a massive unit, huge, arm wrestlers. But these guys are like huge, you know? And the guys like beat him quite convincingly. But obviously in arm wrestling, if they did powerlifting, I don't think they'd be that big. Like, they're still massive guys.
Yeah.
But they're not.
I would say he probably just did it for...
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure if he trained in that, he'd be fucking good at it too.
I'm sure if he trained that, just learnt technique.
He's a colossal man.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. Yeah, did you follow Mariusz Pudzianowski's career?
Loved him. Yeah,
because he fights MMA.
I used to watch when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he fights MMA.
Yeah.
Did watching his career and that, did that put it into your head as well?
For the MMA switch?
Yeah.
Not really. I always wanted to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just enjoyed watching him throw big overhands.
Dude, have you seen him fight?
I have not.
Man, it's ridiculous.
It's intense.
Yeah.
See if we can bring some up for me.
Mariusz Pudzianowski. World's strongest
There's
man.
a video they go, the
MMA.
world's biggest punch ever landed. I think it was against a Gracie. He just... Oh. And the guy just like flies.
It's fucking incredible. Do you so now like who's looking after you now, like with your training? What are you doing for MMA? What's next?
Firstly, like, how was the transition to MMA? Because obviously the skill sets are quite different.
Very different. It was good. It was hard while I was still trying to drop the weight because I was still, body was very stiff, couldn't move well. But as I've dropped the weight now, I'm sitting about 140 kilos. I'm moving a lot better and it's more comfortable. Like I was getting injured quite often during the initial stages just because I was just too stiff to move. But now that I'm lighter, I feel heaps better. Can do a lot more stuff. So, I feel a lot better. Just since the weight's come down.
Could you always, obviously a big guy can punch hard, or, any big guy can punch hard, but could you always hit hard? Like, is it something that you always punch pretty hard?
Yeah.
Like you always instinctively knew you could punch hard?
Yeah, no, even when I was lifting, I still had like one fight every year for the last like 4 years. And never really trained that hard for it. Just, hit a bit of a bag and a bit of pads and then just jumped in just to have a go. But I knew I always hit hard, yeah. Every time I ever hit someone, they drop, like even from when I was young. So I always knew I'm quite explosive for a big guy as well. So I think that's what it goes towards.
And so the first time you walked in to train properly, going, okay, I'm going to fight, that was with who? Who'd you start training with? Like, how'd you meet Tama and your other coaches?
So a friend of mine from school, O'Neill, he was training with Tama, Lucas Brown, Tai Tuivasa at the time in Penrith, Jamie Tahuna, and he knew I was training, and I'd always see his photos, and there was like 15, 16 big guys training at the gym every time with a few good names. And I just messaged him. I said, hey, bro, when are you going down? I just said, yeah, swear, I'll come down with you one time. Just to train with some big guys, And then the first time I went down there, we were doing a bag sprint drill. It was like 10 seconds, just explode as hard as you can. I was trying to impress him, so I was going pretty hard. And then he just said to me after, he goes, bro, like, you should fight, man. He goes, you hit real hard and move good for a big guy. And since then, I was like 21, so probably nearly 5 years ago now. I've just, Tama's been my main guy.
And who else? Because I've seen who's got like the poor man you've conned into holding pads for you. Have you seen this?
I have on your Instagram.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
It's fucking wrong, dude.
Dave Mill was my man.
It's a bit slack, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, Big Dave's doing it. Shout out to Dave. He's the best.
So how'd you guys connect?
A friend of mine, Jabir, who I think you know.
Yeah.
From Bulldog.
Yeah, he's the one. You were there. He cut me. Shout out. Cut me.
Shout out to Jabir. Mad kickboxer. Doesn't really fight anymore, but...
And then he cut me and then set up the doctor's appointment like in the same
Sweetheart.
in the same half hour. So
good guy.
Yeah, got me in.
Good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah. So I'm friends with Jabir, and then when I made the switch, he goes, I need you to see this guy, Dave. He goes, he's the best pad holder, and just he suits your style. He's a big man. He's tough. He's old school. And I did my first session with Dave, and it was just love at first sight.
Man. And you and now what's next? Like, how long until you... Can we catch that on the camera, his arm?
I tore my bicep tendon.
His forearm's
hold it
as big
up,
as your head.
Can that be caught?
Look at the size of his forearm.
Can you see that?
How did it happen?
Man, I was meant to
that
fight.
hold on. Before that, like, so that's a surgery, for the bicep tear.
So the bicep tendon pulled off the bone there, rolled up to there. So he's cut me open, pushed it back down, and then he's grafted it back into the bone there. So that was nearly 2 weeks ago, my surgery.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was my last hard sparring session before I was meant to compete a couple of weeks ago on Thomas' show, and trained 4 months for this fight, lost 28 kilos. Because the guy said he'll only fight me at 135, so I agreed. Because I wanted to make the jump anyway to the UFC limit, 120. And just felt amazing, ready to go. Lots of good things could have happened after this fight. But last round, last 10 seconds, just kind of threw a walk-in shot, and it just felt like my elbow exploded straight away. and I've seen biceps go before in lifting, and I knew straight away I couldn't bend my arm. When I tried to bend it, it would just cramp straight away. I knew it was gone.
Fuck.
Yeah, unlucky. Bad timing. But it's part of it.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I was in Melbourne for your fight. I was devastated.
Oh, fuck. With you too, That was...
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
It just happens.
And now have you got calls? Have you got people interested in you, like UFC or...
I imagine it would be very hard to get fights for you.
Yeah. Last year I had made my pro debut. That went really well, like 10-second knockout. And then that was in, I think, late March last year. And then for the rest of the year, I had 4 pullouts. So here and overseas. So it was hard to get a match. And then we got a fight in Australia. Trained 4 months for it, and then the week of, pull my bicep.
Who are the guys you're fighting? Because like, are there a lot of massive humans like that?
It's not that many massive big boys, especially in Australia. But they pop up here and there. So
and they're keen to fight too.
Yeah.
And they're keen to fight you.
Yeah.
No.
How difficult? What's a regimen going to be like for you to get to 120? Do you think?
I think
that's your year 8 weight.
Yeah, literally. I think I can do it because I still got the weight to lose. And now that, my goal is not to be big and strong, and I'm not really doing much weights, and my training is very different, my eating is very different, it will come off quite easy.
Was it hard to curb your appetite?
Yeah.
Because I imagine, like, after eating that much and then cutting it back, you would have felt like you were starving 24/7.
Yeah, it was a rough transition period for about 2 months. Still get the cravings, but then I'd have to do the willpower and walk away. But my stomach was rumbling, I was getting weird feelings, but then it just kind of settled down a bit.
No, because
okay.
I have eaten nothing. It's like to that extreme. But as soon as the diet starts for me to get down, bring my weight down closer to my weight range, I every time I'm sitting in bed, my stomach is rumbling. I'm like, I am so hungry. If I don't eat right now, I'm pretty sure I'll do damage.
Yeah.
And then I go out and grab cereal.
Yeah, I felt the same for about 2 months.
Jeez,
there was rumbles, noises I'd never heard before. I'm like, that can't be good. I just kind of stuck it out, and I'm still here, so it's good.
Were there dangers for your like from the doctors and that were dangers for your gastrointestinal tract or anything like that from the amount of food that you were consuming?
Never had that checked. Would have no idea. I'm sure there would have been, but I kind of just turned a blind eye to it.
Did you look sick? Like, did your relatives and that?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't good in the face. I was always sick, like 24/7, because I'd just never sleep. And then you go lift something ridiculous during the day, have heaps of caffeine stimulants, and then you're up all night, just not sleeping. I was always sick, and I just always look horrible. And then I'd literally just smash these caffeine pills we used to have just to, pump up for a few hours, get that big session out of the way. Then as soon as I come down off the caffeine, I just feel tired, sick again. It was ugly.
You would have been pleasant to be around too.
Nah, I wasn't. Yeah.
Were you already married?
Yes.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
No, I wasn't.
You could do like a book.
I was it was hard to deal with.
Babe, let's go for a walk. Man. Not here.
Babe, can you wash my back? I can't.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have been able to. That's another question. You wouldn't have been able to do like basic shit like that.
No way. Yeah, you can't function as a human when you're that big. I don't care what anyone says. I've been there. I've done it. You can't. Little stuff that's you just can't. Just things you would take for granted. You just can't do it.
Yeah, so you can't even shower yourself properly.
No.
How was your flexibility when you were doing this?
Not good.
Because I've seen you kick a bag, buddy. You're pretty flexible.
Like I've seen on your Instagram. I've seen you kick and you punch and stuff. Like,
oh, I'm better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got all right flexibility now. But when you're like, no. From 170 to 180, just forget it. Gone. Just can't even walk. Just start wobbling sideways, and then you're like, no, I'm going home. Just anything. Like where I'd park my car to walk up to 200 meters to the gym, like I'd have to plan strategic breaks, and like where there's flat surface somewhere I can sit down. That was my walk up every morning to the gym. I'd have to plan a break halfway, relax, get my
200 meters.
It was about 200 meters. It was a slight hill, and then it was like a seat, so I'd plan my 5-minute break, get on my air back. All right, let's go, pump up, and finish to the gym.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. That's, you know,
But bloody strong.
absolute extreme. But bloody strong.
Bloody strong.
You know what I mean?
And so that's one thing. Like what other stuff that people take for granted that people don't understand to be, because that's all those guys, at that top end.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you think like the bodybuilders would also suffer from the same?
Worse, probably. The big massive ones.
I don't think, not to that degree, because their weight's a lot lighter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Much and leaner, like much lighter.
Yeah, but they're not in good shape.
They're not in good shape.
They're not healthy.
It's nowhere near its.
Yeah, because you guys are fucking huge.
Yeah, powerlifters, strongmen, when they're at the big end, they're the biggest dudes in the
So what kind of things, like, just like take us through a normal day to day, like when you're 180 kilos, what happens? So you get up. You for example, like let's start at the beginning.
Couch.
That's right. Let's
start at the beginning. You're not sleeping in bed with your wife.
No.
So that just starting there. So you're not sleeping in bed with your wife. You're sleeping with your back against the thing. So
I'm
take us through.
I'm up on the couch with my head up there, just so I got some passageway to get air down to my lungs.
And then what happens there? You wake up.
And then after a horrible night of anxiety, stressing out, your alarm goes off. And you're like, all right. So you get up. I'm happy the night's over. I've got a day where I'm standing up, so I'm not going to be panicked that I might stop breathing for X amount of hours. Get up, have breakfast, jump in the shower.
When you say have breakfast, like you're having a huge breakfast, how long does breakfast take?
About an hour.
Like
about an hour.
An hour to eat breakfast. Because I say I'll go have some breakfast. In like 10 minutes, I'm out. Like,
no, it's an hour. Yeah, it's a planned.
Would your wife cook you breakfast for you?
90% of the time.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
And that so that was breakfast. Is 12 eggs.
12 eggs, heaps of toast with it, and just whatever, big fat bowl of Cocoa Pops.
Yeah.
Just changes every day, but always the dozen eggs, lots of toast and cereal, and probably like a bit of chocolate for the car ride to the gym.
All right, and then you jump in the shower, and the shower's an ordeal.
Shower's a big ordeal. So if we want to get real personal, I don't know how personal we want to get.
You can get as personal as you like.
So you go to the toilet before the shower, and the main reason you always have the shower after is because you can't properly clean your ass after the toilet.
Yes, people don't get that.
They don't get it.
The sacrifices.
No, because when you look at all those guys, that's their situation.
You're too big here. Your range of motion is not that good. You're literally just too big. It just doesn't work.
And then you go in the shower.
And then you go in the shower and make sure you're clean.
Yeah.
But even little stuff like, your range of motion, when you're dealing with shoulders and chest that big, you can't wash.
Did you have a big soap on a stick?
What do you mean?
The stick?
The stick to get there? Yeah, but even that, you can't really get the good angle. So I'd have to call my wife. She'd come in and, do my back, all that stuff. Yeah, it's tough.
And then you'd get dressed. Could you get dressed?
I could get dressed. Struggled with the socks and shoes. Yeah.
Could you get your underwear on by yourself?
I could get my undies on, shirt, shorts. Socks and shoes were a problem. So usually I'd just chuck my thongs on.
Okay.
Because you would lift barefoot most of the time, or would you put weightlifting shoes on?
Bench press shoes, squat shoes, deadlifts barefoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then you got dressed. Then you got in your car. How hard was it to get in the car?
No, it was okay. Yeah, it was a bigger Commodore, so it was okay. We kind of just squeezed in there. Yeah, I wasn't stuck, so it was all right.
Then you'd train.
Yes, then I go to the gym early, train a few clients while I'm still eating, so I got lots of calories in me, and I'm fueled for when I do my session. And then, my session anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours.
From what time to what time?
Hour of power, 11 o'clock to about 2. That's when I felt most woken up. Had a few meals in me by then, so I felt fueled, ready and strong. I didn't like training earlier. I didn't feel like I'd eaten enough.
So you would train at 11 or 2?
11 until 2.
Until 2, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone in the gym kind of trained at the same time. We all found that's the best time. When you've had a few meals, so you're awake.
Yeah, you're wide awake.
Yeah, because we've tried it a bit later, a bit earlier. It just didn't feel right.
And your body slows down anyway. There's your circadian rhythm slow down anyway. It's from 2 to 4 to 5.
Yeah, I got a question. Because obviously you're loading up on the calories to lift these monumental weights. Like, How many calories do you expend during this session?
Oh, it would be a lot. Yeah,
A ton?
I can't say an exact number, but it would be a lot.
Do you know, Fab?
I don't know how much, but it'd be a lot. Like, so you have like the things like the EPOC, like the expired post-oxygen consumption things. So each lift, like you just like after you lift or whatever, like the oxygen has to go back in. Like it's a lot of calories.
How many? Like how much? Give me.
I'm guessing, but
if you had to like just quantify like how many calories you would burn just on one max lift, would it be something a lot?
It'd be a lot. It'd still be a lot.
Decent amount.
Yeah, because like it's like maximal effort. Everything has to be fueled.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be like their session, like your whole session would be like you expend a lot. I don't know how much. I'd really fucking struggling. Like say an aerobics class or whatever, anywhere between 400 to 700 calories for the hour. So I don't know, at least double that, because there's a lot of big lifts in there. Hey, huge.
Plus it's a whole massive ordeal just before the lift. You know, just the side cut, the focus. You know,
warming up to 400 kilos would take a while.
It does, yeah.
They're adding just one plate on every side.
Yeah.
No,
I did actually one Olympic lifting comp.
Beautiful. How'd you go?
Terrible.
Okay.
Fucking terrible.
That's why you just did the one.
Just the one.
It is bone structure.
Yeah, look, I'm not made for that. No, but it was actually a sport that always interested me. Like all that stuff always interested me, and just like that whole thing, like because you only do the one lift as well. Yep. You do like the snatch, the clean and jerk, and but I did it as an adult. Like I just did it because I was like, I wanted to do that. That's cool, and like how much. And the reason I ask that was like sometimes when I see people, like I never lifted anything that I was really scared to lift. And I could always just drop it and walk forward. But when you see some of those guys lifting, like the clean and jerk, the snatch or whatever, and they get under the bar, like, what's his name? Naeem Suleimanoglu. He did 3 times his body weight. So 60 kilo guy, 180 kilo lift. And you think like, if you're lifting that above your fucking head, like, that'd have to be scary. Like, for a normal person, like when I look at it, I think like, fuck, you drop that. He's like a little dwarf guy,
Lifting those weights, so you kind of leave the realm of normal.
Yeah, but still, like that. Just like what you're saying, like psychologically, you can't even be like 1%. Oh, I can't do this.
No. If you got one bit of doubt walking up to the bar, you won't get it. Lift's done. You have to go in saying, "Yep, I've got you," and full commitment. If you go in saying, if you're going under a squat and you're unracking a heavy weight and you're down yourself and like, oh fuck, it feels heavy on my back. You're going to get squashed really bad.
Have you seen people get squashed?
All the time.
How bad?
Pretty bad.
Like broken legs and shit?
Yep.
How?
Broken legs under those heavy weights?
Yeah, as soon as you just go down, they're going down like too slow because you can tell that they're not confident, too slow. And then you just see their quad tear off. Just, these back pulls, calf pulls,
Because these are big guys lifting big weights.
Big dudes, yeah, lifting big weights.
But you see it like just.
Yeah, you see it. There was this bad one in Melbourne a few years ago. I saw this guy. He used to be the Australian record holder in the 110 kilo division. Just went down, just too slow. As soon as he hit the spot where he was meant to like explode up, you just literally see his quad go like up his leg, boom.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was.
And then the whole thing collapses on you.
Yeah, dropped the weight, fell under it, fell on him. Horrible. Yeah, it can go bad.
Do you come back from that?
He did.
Fucking shout out to that guy.
Shout out to the guy with the blown quad.
Yeah. You can, but you'd always have that little, shit,
Yeah, and it sets you back.
Of course.
Big time.
Fuck.
So with that, the doubt in your head, is that the same for fighting? If you go into a fight and there's a little bit of doubt, is that the same ideology when you're fighting MMA?
In my fights, I go in just saying, I'm not worried about, if I get knocked out, I'm just like, this guy's going to hurt me, I have to hurt him. Maybe Rob can answer that more so.
When I'm fighting, I don't think of much. Like, when I'm in there, I can't, I don't know, like, there's just no thoughts. There's no thoughts happening. Yeah, it's just one of those things for me. Beforehand, like leading up to it, I'm like, we could do this. But then I say, but nah, I'm going to do this. And then I think, but I could get caught there. And then I'm like, nah, but I'll do this. It'll be fine. And all the way up until I get there. And then as soon as we touch gloves, I'm in another realm. Like, I'm not there anymore. Like, I'm fighting. I don't think of anything like
See red?
No, if I hurt you and I see that I hurt you, I smell blood.
Yeah.
Or if I cut you, another thing, I see red. I can feel the finish and I kind of G up there. But apart from that, no.
But you are very aware. You're very coherent, very cognizant when in the fight.
In the fight, all my senses are pushed 200%. Like my brain is firing everything at 200%. But there's no room for thoughts. There's just, it's hard to explain. Like I'm in the zone, pure zone, and I'm just focusing on what I'm going to do to you, like how I'm going to execute what I need to do. It's not like I'm just I'm out there going, where am I? I'm in there and I'm in the zone, and everything is firing at its maximum. There's no room for like that inner monologue. That inner monologue doesn't happen when I'm in there.
No, you can't. There'd be no, like, if you're at a point where you're talking to yourself, like you're fucked. Like, Have you ever seen anyone's back go?
Yeah.
Like what they do to themselves?
What was it?
You see a lot of spasms.
Bulging disc, lower back, two of them.
But the disc went?
Oh, you just saw him try and pick it up, and then he just dropped it straight away and screamed. And just, like he obviously couldn't see it.
No.
You just saw him like scream in agony. Then we found out done 2 bulging discs. Just like bang, just went.
And what's a powerlifting community like?
Good.
I think
guys.
Everyone's good?
Not everyone.
No, of course, yeah.
Not everyone. You can't get along with everyone.
Yeah.
Same as anything. You've got people that you're drawn to that are similar, people that you don't like. It's just like anything, I guess.
But in general, it's all right. Like, it's a good community. Like, because I can imagine, like, those are kind of fringe sports where people aren't making a lot of money. A lot of the times, it's the people are pretty close with each other.
A lot of the times, yeah. A lot of the times, not.
That guy, the one we were talking about before, the documentary, what was his name?
Rongo Keane.
Yeah. Is he still competing?
He is, yes.
And
he competed last year, World's Strongest Man. And
he did the strongman.
So he's a strongman, yeah.
Have you ever tried it?
Strongman?
Yeah, like even the training with the Atlas stones and
no, never given
never.
It a go. No.
You never tried to tow the car or anything?
No, I like barbells.
Oh fuck! How does a transition go? Does it usually go powerlifting first and then they go to strongman?
A lot of people start in the gym, and there's not many strongman gyms which have the equipment, because the stones will just go through the floor. So most people start lifting weights, and then obviously with barbell movements, and then as they get more into it, they go out to more niche gyms, which cater for strongman.
I was giggling before because there's just a shout out to everyone who's going to watch this. Train technique properly, do everything properly, make sure you do everything properly, because that TV show, like Weird Obsessions, people get obsessed with things and it's like usually something weird. Have you ever seen that TV show?
No.
Well, there is one.
No.
But there was this guy that would have been like 60 to 70 kilos, and he was fanatically obsessed with strongman. Some dude in the UK.
Good on him.
Nah, he would compete like every week in strongman.
Nah, too much.
I remember his wife coming on an interview going like, he's just destroying himself. I want him to stop. And he would just blow out everything every week. He'd just go back in there and just smash lifts, like huge lifts. Tiny guy, just couldn't help himself, just fanatically obsessed with it and just kept doing it. And I remember him interviewing, he goes, I'm ready to die here. He's like, I love this. Like, this is why I'm alive.
Hey, bro, A+ for heart. So maybe you should give it
Dude, he was just crushing himself. Look it up if you get a chance.
What's harder, the MMA training or the strongman?
MMA.
In what sense?
You have to work hard.
A lot of different skill sets, eh?
Yeah. There's like powerlifting, you're doing 3 movements multiple times a week. 3 things you got to remember. Technique on a squat, bench, deadlift. And then everything else, everything else is just a variation of that. But they're the main 3 things. Plus you're getting 10-minute breaks in between. So it's a lazy man sport, That's why I enjoyed it. I was really good at it, and it was lazy. And I like being big and lazy just by nature. But MMA is hard, you know. Once I started getting into wrestling and you're in that wrestling grind and you're literally like, you know, you got someone on you trying to smother you, you're struggling to breathe and you got to almost get up, fight for your life. It's different. Yeah. I think it's the hardest sport in the world.
What's a cardio like? The jump into the whole cardio realm.
What do you mean?
Like from your stories with strongman, you weren't doing a lot of cardio stuff.
Zero.
So what's a jump been like to be doing the amount of cardio you have to do for MMA?
You mean coming down from the big
No,
weight?
just doing the cardio.
Obviously, you know, takes a while.
Is it hard for you to do it?
I still struggle with it. Yeah, it's definitely not one of my strengths, but I'm trying to work on it, you know.
What kind of stuff are you doing now? Just
Used to do short sprints, lots of swimming, and just anything low impact, just like bike, rower, nothing like hard running or anything, because I always used to hurt my knees. That's about it.
how often? How many times a week are you doing it?
I was doing it 2 for this fight, just 2 specific sessions for that.
And you feel heaps fitter?
Yeah, felt great. I was sparring, was doing good, felt good.
How much pad work in that?
2 to 3 a week.
Is there a part in your mind that you think like, why am I doing cardio? I'm just going to hit him and he's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you did feel that way, but then you know what it was?
Because I can't do that. I can't be like, I'm just going to hit him and he'll disappear. No, but for you, it's a real thing.
Yeah. You don't want to, that feeling I had when I started wrestling and I was just getting smothered and struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
And I got this guy on me, put this thing in my face. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to ever feel that in a fight.
Yeah.
So I'll, suck it up and do the work. So hopefully I don't feel that way.
Hopefully you hit him and he disappears. But
That's the goal. Yeah. So far, 5 out of 5. So hopefully we keep it going.
So in your fights, from what I've seen, that actually have gone like that. It's been an exchange and
5 fights: kickboxing, MMA, 3 amateur, 2 pro, 1 pro in MMA, 1 pro kickboxing. Longest fight 30 seconds, including the 10 count.
including the 10 count.
Yeah.
So you've dropped everyone. Are your shots landing clean, or are they just nicking them and they're?
I saw one where I'm pretty sure it didn't even fucking hit the guy. It was like the guy didn't take the dive. The fucking like the sonic boom. Like that, the poor guy dropped, and I'm pretty sure it's still counting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel him land? Or?
2 of them being clean. That one when the guy leg kicked me in the headgear, was amateur kickboxing, and he leg kicked me and he dropped his hand, so I hit him once, and he was like on the way out, so his eyes rolled back, and he was staring me out at the weigh-ins, like trying to be, staunch. So I said to myself, if I got a shot, I'm gonna hit him again. So he was like out of it like that, and I saw him. I was like, yes. So I just loaded up big overhand.
And that kickboxing.
That was amateur kickboxing, and then it was in my MMA debut.
Wait, when you loaded up the second shot,
yeah,
you landed a flush,
it was flush.
and he was already on his way out.
He was gone. Yeah.
Is he dead?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I saw him like a year later at a music concert. Like, hey, bro. I'm like, oh, hey.
And then you said in the other one's your MMA fight.
Yeah, and the other one, last year, my pro MMA fight, I remember I just hit him with a left hook, and that landed clean and dropped him.
With the small gloves.
Yeah, it was mad. Yeah.
Does it, because you're a big guy, your hands aren't like your hands are big, but they're not like for how hard you're going to punch. You haven't had any problems with your hands?
Nah, nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Yeah.
So that's good. I've had a few other issues, so.
Yeah.
But nothing hands-wise. Never broke my hand, nothing.
And you kick very hard too.
Yeah. Love
The
a
size
good
of your
kick.
legs.
Yeah, so no, but he's got the dexterity and the ability to kick.
Yeah, no. I love
Where did
it.
that come from?
Don't know.
Because you actually kick. So like
Yeah.
I've seen big dudes with big legs and they're like, but you actually kick.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Every time I kind of move around with someone, they don't expect me to. And I can get my legs up high, pretty high.
When was the first time that you started going, I like this whole kicking people thing?
Probably early last year.
That you started going, I'll kick hard and I'll kick well.
Yeah.
Because it's like he kicks
Yeah, I've
good.
seen him on
well.
his Instagram.
Yeah. I can get them up.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah. I like this one. I go right low and then left high without any more wind up. And I usually get most people with it.
Who are you doing that to?
Yeah.
Just some of the Bulldog
Who's
boys.
putting their hand up for sparring?
Javet's my main guy.
How big is he?
My height, about
Not
108.
Yeah, I was going to say, how heavy?
My height, 108.
That's significantly smaller than you.
Yeah. Oh, we do drills. Like, he's been helping me out with my kickboxing. Yeah. So, and he's a gun kickboxer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's pretty-
yeah, still, I wouldn't want to fucking cop hits off him.
No, I don't know.
Nah, he's does the solid. So
Who else?
Ty,
Yeah,
Bam
Ty,
Bam.
all right, cool. Because he's a massive guy too.
yeah, Bam Bam.
But he cuts to 122, doesn't he?
yeah, he cuts down always.
How often do you spar Bam Bam?
Whenever he's in Sydney, whenever he's up in the Goldie now, usually goes to Thailand a lot. So whenever he's here,
Do you full spar hard?
not hard, but just move around. You know, feel the weight.
Do you grapple with Bam Bam?
A little bit, yeah. Ruben, shout out to Ruben.
Oh, Ruben McCready. Ruben from our gym.
Ruben was helping us out for this fight.
Yeah.
So he'd come, a few of the boys fight on the card. Me, Ty, he'd help us out. So
Okay, so because Ruben, I'm not even going to lie. Whenever I'm at the gym and Ruben's like, "Hey Fab, you want to roll?" And I'm like, "Nah." Fuck. Nah, and he's like, "Oh, why not?" And I'm like, "Cause you look here, like, just fucking leave me alone, you know." And I like Ruben as a human being. He's a lovely guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But he's just too big. Now, what's he like compared to you, size wise?
pretty similar.
But and he's also does powerlifting or something like that.
No, he's a big, strong guy.
So do you feel okay? So when you roll, what's that like?
Good. Well, he's helping me out. Obviously, I'm not nowhere near as good as he is on the
But
ground.
can your strength override his technique at the level at his strength? Because when I roll we don't roll. It's there's no rolling involved. When I'm with Ruben, it's just fucking flat. Me flat on my back.
Yeah.
I can't he's too big.
Yeah.
And he can grapple.
Yeah.
But with you, okay, he's your size. But can you? Do you find that you can? Do you power out of it?
If I put all that power into it, I've got him off me. But
But you can only do that.
that's right.
A few times. Yeah.
Like if I'm gassed, nah. So then I have to, use the technique.
And so rolling a guy like Ruben is very beneficial for you.
Awesome. Yeah. So good.
And he's a good grappler. Yeah.
Great grappler. Yeah. And good guy.
Yeah. Fuck. Also, he is an ex-boxer, so why don't you could spar him too?
Yeah.
Do you spar Ruben? I'm throwing Ruben under the fucking bus. You don't understand how much I'm enjoying this.
Nah, we
You
did.
should spar with him.
We did.
Small gloves.
We're going to. We're going to, but obviously it didn't happen. So next time.
He's a fucking big guy. Did you ever? I know you didn't because I asked him the other day. I got a mate, Jürgen, who's a big heavyweight wrestler. He's probably about 140 now.
Okay.
Ex-sumo guy. Yeah, and I was asking him if he'd run into you because he knows Tama and Jamie and all of that. But for whatever reason, your paths didn't cross.
Good wrestler.
Yeah. He went competed all through.
Awesome.
He competed internationally. Shout out to Yogs. Lived in Japan as a sumo wrestler.
Oh, wow.
Big, massive Samoan guy.
No, I don't know.
Him and Yogi are mates too. They know Ruben and Yogi are mates too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought he knows. I think Bam Bam from back in the day as well.
Yep.
So that's why I was wondering what that was like because I know that'd be super hard to get big, massive.
It's good to get good big guys. Yeah, but they're always around, so you find them.
Do you manage to find a lot of them?
Yeah. Tama usually gets good guys in always.
Far out, that's massive, eh? And they're good, they're good levels.
Yeah. Good for me.
Fuck, that's massive. Eh? So you don't want to spiral.
Him?
Yeah.
No
Size
way.
doesn't matter, mate. We got the sign up at the gym that says that.
You know what I'll do?
To use the
We can do
technique.
some point sparring.
Yeah, fucking
point
point sparring.
See, I'm shit at that,
But what if he messes it up? The thing
Just kills me.
just
No, I don't want
leads one big shot.
No.
All the Bulldogs boys say you're so hard to spar.
Hmm?
All the Bulldog boys that I know say you're so hard to spar.
I'm a pain in the ass.
Yeah. They say you're out here, then all of a sudden it's bang, straight in.
I'm good at what I do. I know how to outside fight
Yeah.
well, and I'm a bit funky the way I spar. And plus, they're all
Thank you.
kickboxers. I don't kickbox with them.
No?
Like they're kickboxers and they have their traditional kickboxing stance and they throw their kickboxing moves. Whereas I'm mixed martial arting almost. I have a different sort of stance. I punch differently than the way they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little different, and it's off-putting but it's good because when we get looks we don't normally get from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to head back up there and say hello to the boys and maybe get some sparring in sometime.
Yeah, it'll be good.
What? So now you're being managed by Titus, same management as well.
Yep, Titus Day, just signed with him last week.
I saw you doing. Were you getting dressed up as Shrek?
Nah, not Shrek.
What was it?
But you did a Shrek.
No, it wasn't Shrek. We were getting a head cast made.
But you said get out of my swamp.
Yeah, it was just a little joke.
Because I thought that you'd be a good Shrek.
Yeah, big ugly.
I could see it. Like I was like, you know what? I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it too. But no, it's not for Shrek.
So what was it for?
Oh, I've got to keep it quiet just for now.
Oh, okay. You can't say. But people can go on your Instagram page and see. How uncomfortable is that shit on your face?
Oh, man. That's what I'm actually a bit flaming. It made me sick. It was only a few days ago. It made me sick. If you see the video, they'll put in all this stuff. All I had was these 2 nostrils. I was having these fumes in my nose.
How can they watch this? How can they watch this?
It's on my Insta, Godly Strong, and it's it's like, I forgot how long this 40-second video. You see him just starting to put the green stuff on. It was like 55 minutes cut down into like a quick video.
So you sat there for almost an hour with him putting that shit in your face.
An hour, yeah.
That would have been great for your anxiety.
No, it wasn't good. And I was saying it to the guy. Shout out to Nick. And he goes, do you have anxiety? I'm like, oh.
I will by the end of this.
I used to. He goes, are you claustrophobic? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. Well, we're just going to ask if you're okay every second. I'm like, all right. Yeah. I'm like, and I still didn't expect for it to do what they did. He's like, just make sure, keep your eyes closed the whole time, your mouth's closed. You got to breathe deeply through your nose. I'm like, all right. I just thought, I don't know, like they put some cream on my face, and then they just cover it for an hour, and I just got 2 nostrils open, and a few times I just started.
And you could only breathe through your nose, eh?
Yeah.
Shout out to the guy putting it on, where Alex at any time may go mental.
Yeah.
This guy is just like tight walking the wire, just like painting himself on this huge guy.
They got dude with the elephant gun and tranquilizer.
they got 2 guys there next to him like this, lined him up.
Yeah, it was intense, but it was good. It'll be good when it's finished.
So you're doing a lot of stuff like that, like with through Titus or like.
So I've only just started, obviously, with Titus. So very excited to be signed with him and looking forward to the future. Done a few small acting roles before.
As what?
Major. Just fill-ins, like played a wrestler once, played like a bouncer, just kind of that stuff.
Really? So you're really stretching yourself there.
Yeah.
You're like you become the role.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. So you, what movies was that?
No, just like short commercials, not movies.
Which commercial are you in the bouncer?
It was for like a safety wear ad once. It was like 2 years. Oh, not 2 years ago. Last year.
Is there a big thing for people, for big guys like that?
There is if you like go hard in it, and you got to go to lots of auditions. But sometimes I'll turn them down. I don't go to many.
How come?
Just preferences. Just it's a big day. I'd rather just train.
Yeah.
I think with that sort of stuff too, like if you're getting those sort of gigs, correct me if I'm wrong, but you need a lot of them to make good money. Like,
of course.
You need a line of, like, doing a one-off here won't set you up. Like, you need to do like tens of them to earn decent money.
Oh, the money's pretty good for the day. Like, it's good rate. It's anywhere between like 1,500 to $5,000 for the day. It's good, but to get it, you got to like. Takes a while. You got to go to the audition. Then sometimes there might be a second audition. You got to commit hours to each one, and then you might not get it. So it's a big process in getting the role,
All right. And so through Titus now with the UFC, can we talk about that? Is there anything that you know that has there been interest towards you?
There's been interest. Unfortunately, I didn't get to compete on the weekend 2 weeks ago, but the main matchmaker, he was like, eagerly watching. So it's disappointing, didn't get to compete. So it's just been put on the back burner. But
you're on their radar.
Yeah.
The UFC heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Anyone you'd like to fight in that division?
Call me as a champ, so I want the belt one day, so I guess I'll just say him. I don't call anyone out, but whoever's got the belt, that's my big goal.
Is there someone in as a first fight that you'd like?
Nah, not really. I'm a banger, like it's no secret. So anyone that's a banger should be excited. I want everyone to have fun watching me fight as well, you know. So whatever's going to be an exciting fight, any big hard hitters, it's always fun watching two big guys swing. So
when will you be ready?
if all goes to plan, November I've got another fight. So 6 months.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess thank you very much for coming in.
No, thank you. I appreciate
Where
it.
can people find you? Where can people follow you? What, you know, anyone you want to shout out, please do so now.
Just want to shout out to my trainers, Tama, Stevie, Dave Millwood, Joubert, Igor, and my sponsors, Pain Away Australia, Frango's Chicken, and that's pretty much it, yeah. Godly Strong on Instagram. Don't have any other social media at the moment, but we are getting it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you again
Peace,
next
guys.
time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.